Giuliani, and welcome to America's Mayor live and in living color. We're live and in color, and we're live and we're getting ready for the president to who they're not giving him the full O.J. Simpson treatment today. It's a casual, less consistent coverage of his automobile. Some of the others, they had like wall-to-wall coverage of his automobile. I was so worried about it. I was afraid they were going to do it to me in Manhattan when I left my apartment the other morning, and kind of joked around and told them I do a play-by-play for them if they want it, because nobody can describe Manhattan better. I mean, seriously, there's nothing special about this, but I mean, I was the mayor, the U.S. attorney, assistant U.S. attorney. I'm a lifetime New Yorker. Who can take you through Central Park better than me, right? I was going to do my own commentary for my O.J. Simpson wall-to-wall cavalcade to Teterboro Airport. Unfortunately, I didn't have a cavalcade. I just had one car. So they figured, oh, puny, little nothing. But then they followed me anyway. Exactly why they were following me, maybe they thought I was going to meet with a... They're still working on that Biden-Russian pawn thing. They were afraid I was going to meet with some Russian along the way and exchange a package or two. They are schmucks. You know that. Oh, yeah. A lot of them. Look, it's like any generalization. One could say all lawyers are jerks. Now, you wouldn't be far off, but you'd be off. There are a lot of really good lawyers like me and John Eastman. And any lawyer now indicted by the Biden state prosecutor and the Biden state police is a good lawyer. It could be a sign now of how do we qualify good lawyers? What it means is, first of all, they are the lawyers with courage. They're the lawyers who are willing to prosecute a unpopular cause. Now, it is extraordinarily sad that defending or even bringing a case for the former president of the United States makes you an unpopular cause, because the press has decided and the Democrats have decided the truth. We now have a new system in this country, which they're actually trying to internationalize into like a ministry of truth. Here, I'll give you an example outside the context of this. If you take the COVID vaccine, you will not get COVID. That is the truth. Okay. Now, 3-4 months later, it emerges that cases are coming out that people who had the COVID vaccine are getting sick. Nice little people, just regular people, wanting to inform their fellow citizens, go on Twitter, pre-Musk, or the ones that continue to be communist-dominated social networks. Some of the ones you're watching me on, you put down, oh, it seems like there are side effects to the vaccine. Oh, the poor young kid got myocarditis. I didn't even know what that was. Lucky Dr. Maria told me all about that. She actually warned me it would happen. First time it happened, I said, holy God, she's a genius. Now you get banned. And if people at the work find out, you might get fired. And if you have a government job, you might get fired from a government job. If you question the truth. Then people were saying, including my doctor was saying to me, I said, doctor, should I take the vaccine? The doctor said, no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, I know it's controversial, but it's my view that your natural immunity is better than the vaccine. And I already see a few things emerging from this vaccine. And remember, this is a vaccine with a big question mark that should have been put there from day one. And I said, doctor, what is that? And he said, well, all vaccines get 2-3 years of testing. This had 1 day of testing. So who knows what's going to emerge a year from now. If you need it, take it. You got a very bad case. You have very strong antibodies. God forbid you get it. We now know how to treat it. Don't take the vaccine. Now, I put that down a couple of things. I got banned for a week. I got banned for 2 weeks. My son wasn't allowed to debate with the other people in the gubernatorial debate because he was spreading disinformation. Turns out they were spreading disinformation. It turns out he was telling the truth. So there's your problem. And boy, it's a big, big one. It's a big one, a big one, a big one. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe we can put the television on or a computer on, because what I'd like to do is to kind of follow the O.J. Simpson trail here and see what is happening to the what did Vivek say yesterday? The best president in the 20th century. I'm going to put on my computer. When Vivek became Vivek like cake, Dr. Maria lets me know. So before we get to the debate, in which case we're going to bring in Dr. Maria, who you can see is warming up in the bullpen. You can hear her throwing pitches. Yeah. You know, the Red Sox have a different kind of bullpen than the Yankees. They fight a lot in their bullpen, stuff like that. So Yankees have always been very, peaceful.
Ladies and gentlemen, what the mayor is saying is we're going to follow President Trump's, I don't want to say arrest, but
it is.
Yeah, it's an arrest. We're going to. That's right. He's done.
Is it done? Is he in and out already?
He's in and out. Yeah.
Oh, he's leaving.
Yeah, we're gonna get the post-analysis of Trump's arrest. You heard it here first.
He's already been in and out. So I'm gonna take you through it, unlike anybody else on media can, because hey, I just did it yesterday.
Mayor, should we show them the picture of you getting mobbed by the press yesterday?
Oh yeah, but let me first let me show you this. This could happen now, but I don't think I'll let him do this. This happened when I came out. So I went through the whole jail thing, and it was tense, but I didn't make it tense. I mean, I kept my, I don't know what I call it. I suppressed my feelings. So when I came out, I was quite relaxed and joking around with the staff. I was afraid that I gave the wrong phone number to the lady and took her number and sent it back to her. But we come out. We come to that area that you see with the gate. I think if you've all watched this, you'll see the area with the gate. And all of a sudden they say, do you want to say a few words to the press? And my answer always is yes, unless there's some special reason you can't. So I go over and oh my God. This made the prison, and the prison was wild. I was like a few moments into this, I said, let's go back to prison. Watch this.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I have it up for you, Mayor. As you can see, the mayor is getting mobbed by probably 50 to 60 press outlets here. And obviously the mayor is very famous. So, I think that's comparable to what Donald Trump would get. Would you say, Mayor?
But I don't think he would get that, of course.
But it's not allowed.
I don't think they're going to if they put him in that, they're all going to get fired.
Right.
But if they put him in that, I'll go fire them myself.
Thank God you had Bernie down there to take care of that for you.
I had Bernie, I had Ted, I had our bail guy who was great. I had our lawyer John. He was terrific.
Yep, that's nice.
John was like pushing, boom, boom, like a football player. But there was a point at which I said to myself, "Hey guys, maybe we should retreat to the jail." Now in the jail, I had much better treatment than that. I think the jail people like me better than the press. The jail people. So here's what happens. You go past those gates that look quite peaceful. You go through an inner door, lock. In other words, double locked. They let you through that one, and then you go into another inner door, lock. And I think, and I don't think, I asked them, can you vary this for the president? And they said, no, actually, physically, we can't. No way to unlock these doors. They have to be done that way. So I said, well, the president has to go through that. Then we go through this long walk, which Dr. Maria will notice immediately. It was like LaGuardia Airport, Dr. Maria. So, I mean, I'm talking about really, my knee starts to get painful about 2/3 of the way through. And just at that point, when I'm starting to feel like maybe I got to take even a rest because the knee is killing me, I start hearing noise. And I think, oh man, is it a riot? And then I hear, Rudy, Rudy, go, Rudy. Then I hear things I can't repeat, various things they wanted Rudy to do, like go, Rudy, go, Evan, Rudy, go, Evan. Or I get, let's go, Brandon, let's go, Brandy. So I said to myself immediately, this is one of the problems. Just like we have Yankee fans all over America and they go to ball games, we got New Yorkers in jails all over America. We fill those jails up, Rob and Mike.
I mean, I work at jail, Mayor.
I could hear some of the accents too. I could hear some of the accents too.
I work at Rikers Island, so
yeah,
I know all too well.
You don't understand this relationship between prosecutor and I get guys to come up to me like proud of the fact that I prosecuted them because I'm a famous. One guy told me he's really proud that he got prosecuted. He's proud he got prosecuted by me rather than a no name. And I do have people lying about having gotten prosecuted by me. I didn't prosecute. I had a guy that wanted to beat me up for prosecuting him. I didn't do the case. So they do their first round. That was round one of my cheering. The prison officials, superbly professional, not a single complaint, and they did everything they could do not to laugh. One of them said, do you want us to quiet them down? And I said, not from what I'm hearing. So we go into a room. Now, the room I was in to do all this had prisoners in the surrounding cells around it. I'm going to bet they took them out for the president. I'm going to bet. Now, there were fewer of them. They made a few little chants, but they could only make like almost like individual comments. And first thing you do is you fill out, I think I must have signed my name about 12, 13 times. Then you take one type of mugshot from above, which is almost like an X-ray. Then you go over and you take another type of mugshot, front side. And then you go over and you do the fingerprints. And then you do something else. I forgot what it is. Oh, you fill out all kinds of forms. Then this was a bit of a surprise. Then they give you a probation officer to report to. And then you go. Then you're out. So now you walk the long hallway back. Same thing. I thought I heard a few offers if you want to stay over. Would you like to stay over? Or I know the guy said, you shouldn't stay over. The food is shit. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at this, right? These are prisoners. The food is shit. Okay. What can you do about? Oh, I did have a couple of these. What can you do about this place? Damn it, you're powerful. I'm saying, how am I powerful? I'm under arrest. Holy gosh, you got it all wrong. So we get out. We go out. Say goodbye to everyone. I'm going to tell you again. Very cordial. They warn us. They warn us about the scrum out there. They say, we didn't even ask if we could get out any other way, because I just have I've always had this view as mayor. I walk in the front door, I go out the front door, screw you. So I did nothing wrong. Why should I hide? They should be hiding. Like they were. Fannie Willis didn't show up. I wouldn't if I committed the crime she committed in the indictment she brought. So I went out and we had that crazy thing there. I mean, it didn't screw me up. I just kept focused on what I wanted to say about the import of this horrible act of treason, really, or treason against the Constitution. I don't think right now, even those of us involved in it completely appreciate the gravity of this assault on our Constitution, because we're living through it. I do think in later days, maybe to some extent, how it comes out, we're going to see that these last couple of years getting worse and worse and worse under the Biden regime. We are no longer a government of laws. We can't say that. And we're not really a government of men either, because these are not men. These are criminals. They're financial criminals. They're ideological criminals in the sense that they deprive rights and violate civil rights. And they're otherwise extremely, in some cases like Biden, evil men who do horrible things to their grandchildren, their children, and who knows what other horrible things he does. I mean, I watched that hair smelling. You're not going to tell me there's not something wacky going on there. So this is what we're governed by. And I think history will look at this as the worst attack on our rights against a broad and definable group of people ever in our history. And it will look at the press as having been a major actor. And whether it develops into a criminal conspiracy or not, I think historically it will be. And it will probably be the worst day for the press. Now, President Trump is now speaking. So maybe we should put him on.
And I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones, too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all. And we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Did you pardon yourself? President Trump, are you ready to go to trial?
How is this different from the previous investigation? Let's stay on this a little bit. Let's keep going. Just watch. He deserves our full attention.
I like that. He deserves our full attention. You're damn right that he was a great president. He kept this country safe and prosperous, unlike it is now. There's no way in a million years.
Conservative, Democrat, liberal, independent. Doesn't matter. If the justice system, if a prosecutor can go after you because they don't like you.
That's my good friend,
this is no longer
Eric Bowling.
a fair, an honest, a constitutional.
A good reporter and a good man.
All right, folks. All right.
Okay, Eric. Okay, folks. Well, that's Eric Bowling, a really fine reporter, fine journalist, a patriot, and a fine human being. And I thought, wasn't that a dignified statement by a man who's just been put through humiliation? Well, we'll be right back, and we'll go over the debate and have a few more comments about this as we get a few more details. But now we'll take a short break for Tunnel to Towers. The Towers Foundation delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices America's greatest heroes have made for us. Heroes who risked their lives to keep our communities and our country safe. Heroes like United States Marine Corps Captain and Pilot John Jeremy Sachs. Captain Sachs sustained fatal injuries when his military aircraft crashed during training, killing him and 5 other service members. He's remembered by loved ones as courageous, brilliant, and devoted to his career, family, and friends. Sean is survived by his wife, Amber, who gave birth to their second daughter 3 months after his death. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family home for Amber and their 2 daughters. The foundation has helped over 1,000 military and first responder families navigate the worst of times by removing the burden of a mortgage payment. Our nation's heroes and their families need your help now more than ever. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2T.org. T2T.org. Please donate now.
Back to America's Mayor Live. I'm Rudy Giuliani. And now you're Dr. Maria. I identify as Rudy Giuliani today.
I identify as Dr. Maria today. I identify as Dr. Maria today. So let's just before we get to the debate, let's get through the big news of the day. The unsolved homicide in Moscow of Mr. Prigozhin. Show my picture there. That's what left of the guy who decided to try to have a coup against Putin, I guess.
So the plane was going from Moscow to St. Petersburg, and we've heard a few different things. A drone took it out of the sky. We heard a military took it out of the sky.
Or just an accident.
Or just an accident. We don't know. Putin did make a public statement.
Heartbroken.
Saying he is heartbroken. They were great friends, and God bless the family, basically.
What a nice
Yeah, and after all that attack on him on last night, you see how unfair it is?
You knew.
See how hurt he was?
At the end of June, Prigozhin took some of his best mercenary people within 150 miles of Moscow. There's no way Putin was going to let that go.
No,
this exile to Belarus was just a ruse.
Mayor, right now I'm showing your audience the picture of
yeah, let me show Getter.
You could show Getter, have him up there.
I mean, this is a little unusual. They usually poison him.
Yeah.
And I also think it's a little strange. It's a little strange that they took out all those extra people. I wonder if they were co-conspirators.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
I hope they're not co-conspirators like I am.
But there's a lot of videos coming out of Russia now, and some of his mercenary group is just heartbroken. They really looked up to him. But I have to say, just like Putin, Prigozhin was an animal, a savage.
Just as bad. Yeah. No, you couldn't make a distinction between them morally or.
Yeah. There was a video released by Prigozhin's people on Monday in depicting as if Prigozhin was in Africa. I'm not sure if that was being done at the time. Sometimes you release videos days later, but he was in Africa recruiting people for the mercenary group, and because he wanted to make Russia great again.
Well, here you go. That's not exactly going to sit well with Putin, because if Russia is going to be made great again, I think I have an idea who Putin wants to do it.
So I want to talk about an issue that is near and dear to, should it be like that? To every American, and that's our open border. We know about the record-breaking fentanyl poisonings. We know about the sex trafficking. We know the cartel owns our border. There's now been Ebola. Be on the lookout for cartel members kidnapping Americans. They used to do this a while ago in Laredo, Texas as well, but they're starting that again. They are a terrorist organization. So President Trump always wanted to build that wall. America was in favor of that. Democrats used to be in favor of that. Because of Trump derangement syndrome, they put a block on him building the wall, fought him every step of the way. Your tax-paying money, my taxpayer money, went to buy a lot of steel. The Biden administration is now selling it for pennies under a company, Save the Planet or something like that, or something with the planet, selling it for pennies. There goes our border wall.
And you know, they're doing it, Dr. Maria, just as a bill has gotten through the House to finish the wall, and it has the bipartisan support to get through the Senate. So, I mean, this is really about as close to obstruction as you can get, right?
I don't even get it.
I mean, it's almost criminal.
I don't get it.
Let's
face it. We're a country of immigrants. We love immigrants. These are illegal aliens. But here's where I think it's not their fault in some ways, because when we have our government saying, come on in, you may not know you're doing anything illegal.
Hold it. Hold it.
You gonna play a song?
Oh, we are in a minute. I'm getting ready here.
But if it's meant to break this country, which a lot of people think this is a globalist agenda, break the spirit of America, break our moral integrity with all this transgender BS, corrupt our children, use our children as sexual objects, break us financially, we're on the road to doing that. For the last 20 years, we have been dumbing down our future, which is our children, with the poor education system.
There's no question about it.
And now we're spending all this money on Ukraine, on illegal aliens, while the American citizens have a hard time paying rent, buying their groceries. Instead of going forward like every generation before us, from our immigrant parents and grandparents, we are regressing as a society and as a country.
Now we got to go to this is a great introduction to the debate.
Yeah.
And a great introduction to the next ad that we're going to do. But we're going to play a little something on the way out.
Oliver Anthony.
Bullshit place so I can sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and drown my trouble.
Can you hear it okay through the...
It's a damn shame. What the world's gotten to for people like me.
People like you.
Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world. With an whole soul. The rich man north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Mayor, I think it's a great time to show your audience what TV system this song won't be canceled on.
Yes.
The year is 2022. Cancel culture is the new normal. Online freedom as we know it has ended. Digital stockades are here. All activity is monitored, stored, and predictively analyzed by a technological cartel. We're being converted into a digital resource, a digital currency to be farmed for metadata and loaded into a computerized combine, blockchained to a social engineering operating system. However, it doesn't have to be this way. Be part of a new technological revolution. Right now, 1,000 test pilots have launched themselves into a new digital frontier, a private network outside of big tech control. New technology with state-of-the-art digital engagement and never-done-before security and privacy features that are now operational. With Quick's digital engagement, entertainment, communication, and commercial exchange will never be the same. We are QUX. Quicks. Advanced pre-release sales are limited to 3,000. Order now by visiting Quicks.tv. Get yours now before they sell out. Be part of a brand new online experience that you control.
QUX.tv, code Rudy. You will get a discount on the box. The main thing they did this for was privacy, because your cable company can track what you watch, sell your data. It's 100% private. Plus, they added in the cable channels starting rate at $45 after your favorite president, $45.
That's right.
And they
Dr.
did. And they
Maria.
did that on purpose, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. So the debate last night.
Debate. I
So-
enjoyed it. Not a lot of people watched it, but I enjoyed it.
We got 1 million people to watch.
You got 1 million people on America's Mayor Live just on Twitter.
Just on Twitter. I don't know how much we got of the rest. Probably another 200,000.
Yeah.
Then we got another big audience at 11.
For a
For-
post
for a
analysis.
And
That was fun.
And it was a great little post analysis. It only took a half hour, which for us is really good. We were very tight. and we ended up, even though we had different number 2s, number 3s, number 4s, number 5, we ended up with not consensus, but a unanimous view on the winner, unanimous view on the loser.
I think so.
The loser was Christie.
Yep.
The winner was
And Asa Hutchinson. Like,
and Asa.
come on.
And the yeah, well, yeah, right. He didn't even count.
All I heard was Christie was the worst. Everyone said Christie was the worst of the worst.
But
Yeah.
the
Vivek
like cake,
Ramaswamy.
Vivek like cake, right?
Mhm, yep.
So Vivek was the winner, and first poll, Vivek shoots out to a
He's in the number 2 spot.
3, 4, 5, 6 point lead over DeSantis.
Yep.
DeSantis has been number 2 forever. A bad number 2, first 10 points, then 20, then 30, then 40. Now there's one at 60 points. But in any event, he was holding on to number 2. But then he kept dropping. He was at 20, then 18, 17. Now he's down to 7 to Ramaswamy's 13.
Yeah. He's in the
at
most
least
current poll.
the immediate effect from the poll was that Ramaswamy's and somebody they decided to go after him instead of DeSantis, and I think by doing that, they elevated him.
He's
Now-
so alive and so fresh and not speaking out both sides
Right.
of his mouth.
So, Dr. Maria, I was just going to say to you and the mayor, it's funny you guys said that. A FBI analyst, former FBI, like body language analyst, was watching the debate last night, and he said Vivek was the most relaxed,
Yep.
calmest
and real.
one. Right.
Yeah.
And then he said DeSantis looked very angry, like his emotions, and he was nervous. His lips were quivering.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this guy studied body language for the FBI. So he said
so
Vivek was the
socially,
best.
DeSantis has
Right.
always been difficult. I
Right.
love his policies and what he did in Florida. And he actually took action against a DA who wasn't doing their jobs. Governors have that power, and
Well,
he
he got a couple of-
suspended a DA for being soft on crime.
he didn't lose on substance; he lost on style.
Yeah.
And also on expectation. He came in as the front runner. He did not dominate the debate. Minute you don't dominate, I mean, what debate did Trump not dominate?
Yeah.
Even if you question whether he won it, he dominated it.
You can tell Fox wanted Vivek to do well. They do like DeSantis as well, so they positioned DeSantis and Vivek right in
and
that
then of
middle.
course every one of the sellouts said that DeSantis and Ramaswamy won the debate. And when you looked at them saying DeSantis won the debate, you could look in their eyes.
Yeah.
You could see, like I do as a prosecutor,
They
I look
don't
in
really
eyes,
believe it.
the eyes of a liar.
Yeah.
Oh, DeSantis. Hannity had real trouble with it. Hannity said, well, he did better than I thought. But I mean, there's no question.
I thought Nikki Haley did better than I
Everybody else
expected
did
her
too.
to do.
Everybody else did too.
Yeah.
But, in terms of polling, picking up numbers.
The only one who's moved
only one who
the
picked
needle
up was
is
a-
Vivek like cake.
Now,
Yep.
big move for him too, because if you think about it,
He's been on Your America's Mayor Live,
I have-
hasn't he?
also on Common Sense.
Yeah.
His move was more significant. Let me see if I can explain this. DeSantis's move would have been from a guy who had already had 20%, had gone down to 5 or 6 or 7 and then went up to 13. This guy comes from 0. So he's not been up and down. Even though he's only at 13, it's steady progress.
It is.
Now, it could get cut off at some point. But until it gets cut off, it doesn't get cut off. So, I mean, this could be a political star in the making.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. It depends. It depends on what happens now. And I sure as heck, I like Vivek a lot. And he's sure smart. Do not mean this as a real comparison. But this is where Kamala Harris was after the first debate.
Yeah,
she
she came out with, I was that girl on that bus.
Yeah, and she won it. And
Yeah.
she won it.
And
that
she won
debate.
that particular debate.
Then
Yep.
it
Ever.
was.
It was.
But it was a week of fame.
And then what
glory.
happened to her? Like,
Tulsi Gabbard.
no, I don't even
Tulsi
mean in
Gabbard-
debates. I mean,
Tulsi Gabbard
as
did
vice
to her.
president. Like, she's so stupid.
Tulsi Gabbard did to her what Christie did to Marco Rubio. She took her out with one punch. Boom.
Evisceration.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got, I was on the bus. The
I was on that. I was that
big-
5-year-old girl on that bus.
That bus was a big bus.
No, that was after she was.
Yeah.
all
We
about-
had a
we like
yellow
yellow
bus.
buses.
Big yellow
Yeah.
bus.
Other people had green buses. But
Oh,
we were
I was gonna
always
say
put
something
on
really
the
bad.
yellow bus,
But anyways,
which was a yellow. Did I say it was a yellow bus?
Mayor, do you think Trump set the standard for guys like Vivek, never been in politics before, entrepreneur?
Sure.
Right.
He opened the door
'cause
for that.
Me, I would start like locally if I didn't have like city
Yep.
council, whatever. Which I did, but like a guy like that. So you think Trump kind of set the standard, like, hey man, if you're an entrepreneur, why don't you
Yeah.
just give it a shot and people may go.
Can I tell you?
the thing about the federal government that people have to remember, and I kind of wish it was different because I am a fantastic CEO, right? I've gotten all kinds of awards. The government isn't run like a CEO, though. You're not responsible for every branch, nor are you responsible for every department, which stinks. I would want that ultimate accountability because that's how I could make real change. But our government is set up for checks and balances, and it's got 3 separate branches. So sometimes I don't think it's the entrepreneurness as if you have the character to say why can't we do it more efficient? And maybe those are entrepreneurs. But I think those are the good people say, why can't we do it differently? Why can't we save money here? You know?
Yeah.
And-
I think an entrepreneur can make a great president.
Yeah.
It's the kind of entrepreneur. you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Just like a non-entrepreneur can make a great
Exactly.
president. It
Yep.
takes a person that can combine substance and vision. It's got to be someone who has a vision and someone who knows how to translate that vision into practical reality, which could include developing systems for other people to implement. They don't. I mean, you don't have to be. They say I was a very hands-on mayor. I was only a hands-on mayor when I had to be. If I had a group of people that knew what they were doing and I just had to improve them somewhat, I improved them and they were on their own. You will find a lot of people that work for me that will tell you I was the easiest guy in the world to work for. I just let them do it when I
Yeah.
trust them. You'll also find people that work for me that hate me. They're on top of them all the time. But my book on leadership says, if you're a leader, you're in charge. You test out all your organizations first. You find out which ones you can rely on. You give them a lot of accountability and discretion. And then you work on the ones that need help. And as soon as you got the right people there, you move on to the next one.
Yeah.
But it's not one thing or the other. Now, being president is even worse. You still need those 2 qualities. A totally non-substantive president is useless. Useless.
Yeah.
A totally charismatic president is useless. You need both. And Trump has it.
And you got to work through people and know how to bring people together. Here was the issue with Trump. It amazes me how much he accomplished during his term because people were working against him. When you think, people forget, his first 2 years, we had all Republican. We had a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican in the White House. But yet we didn't get the wall done. We didn't have reform on overspending in the government. And went right back to Paul Ryan. For whatever reason, he put his own dislike of an outsider, Donald Trump, above his love for his country and you and me to save money.
Yeah, I think Paul Ryan was a tragedy
Yep.
because
Boy,
in
what
those-
hope we
in
had.
those- and
Unbelievable.
If he had become a partner, the way
yes,
let's say
we could
Peter
have
Malone did
accomplished
with
so
me,
much.
Also having been someone with more experience in the federal government, instead of harming Trump, he could have helped him.
Yep.
And Trump, believe it or not, if you can develop a good relationship with him, can be a very easy guy to work with.
Yeah.
It depends, but he can be very difficult to work with the other way around.
Yeah. He's
So-
extremely charming. He really is.
And he came in wanting to work with them. He even thought he was going to work with Schumer and Pelosi.
Yeah.
And I tried hard not to dissuade him of that, except not to get him.
Get your hopes up.
I
Don't
didn't-
get your
I-
hopes
I
up,
was
Donald.
I was tempted to say to him, "This is not the Schumer we remember." The guy sold his soul like Faust. This guy sold his soul to be majority leader
Yeah.
to the insane communist progressive wing of his party. Doesn't have the balls to do anything about it. And you just watch him on Israel. He's a guy like him who sells out Israel. It's pretty damn bad.
That is bad.
There was a lot of situations like that too, like Barr.
Yeah.
We had a lot of hope.
Yeah.
What was it?
Definitely a lot of hope.
How come all these guys came along and we had so much hope for them and then they collapsed?
Because they're not true leaders. They don't have integrity. They can be bought and sold. That's why I need to take
See this? See what-
balance
see-
of nature.
See what happens to me? This is what happens when you do a show with a doctor. You can't get away with not taking your medicine.
I thought you were going to say you can't get a word in edgewise. When we first started our radio
Throw me a
show
bottle.
together, Uncovering the Truth, I used to fight
Oh.
with him because I'm like, I can't get a word in edgewise. Now I think it's the
That's
other
what
way
happens
around.
when you do a show with a CEO. Could I have that? The
Yes,
bottle.
yes,
The
yes.
bottle. No, the bottle. I got to have some water.
Bottle, fine.
You want me to do it
I'm
without
trying to
water?
choke you over
I
here.
would do it without water, but I'm told it's a bad example. I'm making. I'm
Right
making
now,
a-
the mayor is showing you balance of
I'm
nature.
making a bad
Promo
example for the
code
kids.
Rudy.
So here-
35% off.
Yes.
Check out.
The mayor just traveled yesterday, and I'm sure he took his travel
took
balance
his
of
mini-
nature. That's
mini-
right.
I
Mini
didn't.
Oh,
balance.
you
of-
didn't?
I forgot. I know.
Mayor.
You
Mayor.
didn't.
Mayor.
Did I lie? Tell you.
Uh,
Spanky mayor.
I don't lie. I don't lie. Please.
No, you actually said it on air yesterday.
No, I admitted it on air last
He was
night. I
upset
said
with himself.
I forgot to bring my little bottles.
Can I just say, as
Tell them what's in here.
an healthcare personnel, you always should eat
Yeah.
fresh fruits and vegetables. But as you know, we don't get enough of it. We're eating way too much processed food, myself included. But this is veggies and fruit in capsules. And you can take, people do it differently, but it would not hurt you to take 2 or 3 a day. Thank you. I'll have my water here.
Oh, you have your order? Okay.
I don't want to share germs.
Cooties.
Cooties.
Yeah.
Cootie. How did you do it when you were a kid, right?
You
You
offended him
cooties.
with that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rudolph. I'm sorry. Oh. You're my best friend.
Think we could do a comedy show?
I think that would be good.
Wouldn't be a high bar.
Well, yes, everyone. Balancenature.com. Promo code Rudy, 35% off. It'll make you big and strong. The mayor works 14, 15, 16 hours a day.
Every day.
This guy,
Excuse me, that's
You
not
datore, you datore.
Oh my God. That was so embarrassing.
Il datore.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, aren't these great? Now, I don't know if I've ever done this with the doctor on the show. And I've got to talk to Dr. Howard about this because I'm not sure this is some kind of violation of their patent or they may do this. I don't know. We got to check. I'm thinking of the Christmas tree. I usually put it right there. Last year, we did the show last Christmas and people got a view of my beautiful Christmas tree. And I'm thinking, and even, I'm not great at this. I think Rob is, and maybe Mike too. I'm thinking I make a little hole in here, right? And I put a one of those, a strong one though.
We make ornaments.
A strong, you
You're
got
kind of
it.
Christmassy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mayor. I mean, come on.
Christmas tree owner.
Yeah.
Wait, don't give
Now-
people out your idea. We can make some money from this. This is free content right now.
Do you know what
Oh.
somebody sent me today?
Okay, we'll make a few.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see,
Mugshot.
man?
Rudy's mugshot T-shirts are already on the internet.
Oh, they were on the internet as soon as he got out of jail.
The T-shirts.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
really?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, we figured out it's against the law, right?
That's
In
a-
Georgia.
Luca, you
Luca,
can
it's
come over.
against the
Luca
law.
is
Yeah.
a new lawyer.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
are you
come
shy?
over. Luca,
You don't have to be on the
Luca,
camera,
you can
Luca.
explain
No,
to the
Luca, come on.
audience.
We have all Italians
We-
here.
we-
Rob, what? I know we're all Americans. Rob, what is your family
I'm a
nationality?
Kraut.
Oh, from Deutschland.
So,
I did undergraduate work in Deutschland.
my
Deutschland.
family are it's all Italians from there.
So,
Oh.
I
Yeah.
grew up in an Italian.
There
Italians
you
are
go. It's an
ubiquitous.
Italian night here at the Giuliani home.
I don't want to explain, except on a late night show, why Italians are ubiquitous.
Right.
But go ahead.
Luca, what's Luca going to tell us?
Luca, remember what I asked you to look up? Explain to people what's going on here, because in Georgia, under Governor Kemp, Governor Kemp is a lawless governor for many reasons, and he gets a great press, and Republicans like him, and even Republicans make mistakes. But here, just explain what the law is.
So the mayor brought to my attention that there was a law that it's still in place. There's a Georgia code, 2014 Georgia Code Title 35. In subsection A, it talks about how a booking photograph, which would be an image taken by an arresting law enforcement agent while processed in the jail, which would be what happened to the mayor. Apparently, it is illegal to distribute it across the website, any website or any publication, and for any law enforcement agent to make it available to any person requesting it with the intent to do so.
It was meant just to humiliate all these people. It really was. There's no reason to have released those. Now we're learning it's against their own. Now, Fannie Willis is always saying about the laws of Georgia.
Right.
Has she checked herself into the jail yet?
So just like any legal code, it's
Has exceptions.
right, and the wording's a bit vague. So technically, it says that an arresting law enforcement agent should not allow the requesting person to post it on a website or any publication, and it makes it seem as if they have the intent to do so, they're not allowed to. But they can it can go from one person without the intent to
By
a
mistake. They
by
make
mistake,
They
yeah,
make exceptions for a mistake.
right, and it could transfer over to another person with the intent to do so.
Right. So, I mean, this is against the law. It's against their rules and regulations.
Newest lawyer in the house.
So Luca, I mean, this is, but I would just like to try something on
It's a
you
beautiful
to
medieval town
to
in
see
Italy called
if-
Lucca.
to see
I
if
Yeah, two C's.
it has the impact on you that it has on me. So look, this is a complete phony prosecution. Phony as nobody committed a damn crime
Phony
here.
as baloney.
None of these people being taken in, being what they're doing. I mean, I think Maria and there probably are people here we should have even more sympathy for. The poor guy that delivered one thing or two things, but I don't know. Professor Eastman is the one, maybe because I know him and I know what a
I
sweet
know,
man
it
he
seems
is.
so sad,
What
right?
are they doing to
How about
him?
this guy Floyd who can't get out of jail? Nobody even
Yeah,
knows
I
what
hope-
he
I
was
hope-
involved in.
I was going to call the president and say, "Hey, Prez, put up the money for him."
Yep.
But then I realized I can't talk to him about the case. I can't talk to him about the case. But in any event, I hope somebody put the money up for this guy.
Yeah. Does anybody know what, like, he's involved in, according to Fannie Willis, in this racketeering thing?
Which means
This
he's
poor
innocent.
guy had no money for bail, so he's in jail. Floyd
she
is
should-
the last name.
For that, she should be put in jail. I'm telling you, she should be put in jail. We got to fix that camera right there. I can tell. No, okay. No, we're okay.
In some ways, yours was the worst, I think. So
What?
because you take a guy who used the law to do so much good, and then they turn around and use
Oh,
the
the-
law to do that.
Yeah, the press
Exactly.
loved it. My own. They
Exactly.
used Rico again.
You don't need a mugshot on one of the most famous people in the world.
What?
I don't mean the United States. I mean in the world.
Exactly what made them so happy. I mean, I really did get rid of those criminals that helped them. By getting rid of all those criminals, I helped them. And they can't They can't grant me the benefit of the doubt that I happen to believe that these things are true. Maybe I'm wrong.
And they're deeply jealous and envious. That's what they are.
Yeah.
But you know, they do this stuff like Rudy Giuliani has changed. I haven't changed at all.
No.
If
we
you
got more Marxists
you
and
give me-
communists in this country. That's what happened.
if you give me one teeny bit of benefit of the doubt and you say that I'm representing my client and we have a disagreement, I believe that he's innocent. Well, then why the hell wouldn't I go the last mile for him?
You're not allowed to believe anything anymore.
I'm supposed to
No,
do that, right?
Unless
Look,
it's
as a
company
lawyer.
line, a Marxist line.
But no, it's the thing with Trump. I mean, Trump. If anybody else had 4 of his lawyers, well, now 5 of his lawyers prosecuted, so that you take away his advice of counsel defense on purpose, had 3 of his lawyers' offices raided in the middle of the morning or night, the case would be thrown out as a violation of the Sixth Amendment. But Trump doesn't have a Sixth Amendment. Then if anybody read the indictment, they'd say, I had somebody read the indictment, a European lawyer who wrote, don't they have a First Amendment in America? Meaning, isn't this all free speech?
We used to.
Supposed to be, right?
We used
Yeah.
to. Our
Of course it's free speech.
Constitution and our Bill
If
of
you
Rights
just
tell
read
us
the
we do.
If you just read the darn thing without prejudice, and you even grant that they're telling the truth, and they're not. About half of that's not true. A lot of that stuff about false statements is not true. But even if the false statements are true, if you started putting people in jail for false statements and advocating for a case, everybody in jail
That's why everybody's going to jail.
in a business deal.
Everybody thought it was a free country.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it's really quite a tragedy, and also it's a joke. It's a joke for many reasons. The $200,000 bail for Donald Trump is a charade. It almost should be knocked out as being in bad faith. $200,000 is not going to hold Donald Trump. I'm sorry. So you're only allowed bail to assure the person's appearance, not as punishment or embarrassment.
That's all it's for.
$200,000
That's all
is
it's
not
for.
going to assure his appearance.
Of course, he doesn't-
So now you're doing it for another
He's a
reason,
billionaire.
aren't you?
Like, so it's
See,
really a
you're
drop.
not
It's
a-
not the point.
You're not allowed to
Sorry.
do Aristotelian reasoning anymore. You're not allowed to use logic and truth. If bail is not allowed for punishment, and the bail on Donald Trump is $200,000 purportedly to assure his appearance, who but a complete moron idiot would believe that $200,000 is going to hold Donald Trump? Why would $200,000 stop Donald Trump from running if he wanted to run?
Get domino effect here.
Yeah, but who? I mean, what sane person would think, oh, gee, Donald Trump is going to get it all organized to run away, and he's going to say to himself, "Yeah, I'm gonna worry about the 200 grand."
Yeah.
So the 200 grand is not an assurance that he's going to return. The 200 grand is so that a crooked prosecutor can misuse the bail system and the bond system and get away with it because he's in a crooked country that won't point it out.
Well, Mayor, we have a show exclusive right now. The president's mugshot was just released, and I'll put it on the screen.
I'm not even sure I want to show it.
Well,
I guess
I think the
to.
best
Pissed off too.
Yeah, looks very
mugshot was
upset.
Rudy Giuliani because he looked like
No,
badass.
Can I see it?
Yes, you can. I will get it for
Yeah.
you. Unfortunately, there you go.
Good for you, Donald.
Yeah.
President Trump.
Yeah.
So yes, the show
He
exclusive
looks
for those of
very
you who never
blonde
saw it.
there. He must have just had his
Got
hair
hit
done.
on.
This is President Trump's official mugshot. This is not Photoshop. This is the real deal.
Sad.
First
It really
time.
is sad.
First time
Even the animals that prosecuted him before
Looks furious.
didn't do this.
don't
This
blame 'em.
so this puts these
Bruce
people
looks furious.
Yeah.
it puts these people in the lower than even animal position.
Yeah.
Right.
I can imagine what was going through your mind.
Can I
You're
just say
angry
something
at
in
them.
all sincerity? Because sometimes we
Yeah,
joke
we're
for
gonna go
levity.
off early so we can hear
Yep.
him.
But I just want to say this. You might not like Donald Trump. You might not understand Rudy Giuliani. You got to look at what's happening. And I'm serious. Like, brings tears to my eyes. You don't make up charges to go against your political enemies. This is a bad sign. This is what they do in Venezuela, Russia, China. We've been seeing signs of a Marxist communist agenda, and we've ignored it as a people. We've become complacent. It's been normalized. People are afraid to lose their jobs if they speak up in dissent. Get back to our roots, who we are. We're free thinkers in America. We believe in that Constitution and that Bill of Rights.
That used to
Don't
exist.
be afraid. You have to look yourself in the mirror. But if this can happen to America's mayor, it can happen to you. It can happen to me. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow they come knocking at my door and make up some shit.
Oh my.
You know,
It's really a
it is-
serious thing. That's
it's-
what I'm
it's-
trying to convey. And that's it. I'm saying good night.
Well,
Goodbye.
no, stay here till the end. We're gonna
Okay.
cut out together. It worries me that I'm the only one that finds it troubling that she has put up a bail and nobody's attacked it as a completely phony act.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
You know, as a completely phony act. Bail has a reason under the law. It's to assure your appearance. You can't use it for another purpose. She's clearly using it for another purpose because Donald Trump could blow $200,000, wouldn't make a damn bit of difference.
$10.
So the minute you're using it for another reason, you have to examine the good faith of the prosecutor. Well, it's not good faith, it's public relations. And no one's attacking her for it.
Where is the media?
So something like that, a fact like that, can be an opening into the whole motivation of this woman. And it is. But nobody will even say that. I can't imagine that if I asked for a $100,000 bail on Leona Helmsley when she was brought in for prosecution in my court, they wouldn't have attacked me and said, what kind of bail? That's ridiculous. If you can get a bail on it, make it 20 million. Don't make it 100,000 or no bail.
Yeah.
And in the case of Trump, where the hell is he going to go? He's appeared 4 times now. Every one of these people freely appeared.
And
Every
he's
one of
running
these
for
people
president.
has
He's
no
not gonna run
criminal
away.
record. There's nobody in the world that would have gotten bail there. They let damn murderers go free.
Yeah, they
She's
sure
got
do in New
murder
York.
in that city that's outrageous. And they're spending all this time on Professor Eastman, and they got people running around the city raping their women,
Yeah, that's okay. No, right.
Yeah.
That's okay.
and she's the cause of it because she's an incompetent, probably Black Panther trained
Yeah.
DA.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Eric Holder.
We'll try to have some fun tomorrow night on America's Mayor
Well,
Live.
tomorrow night's Friday. We're going
Friday,
to
let's
introduce, no matter what, who knows what's going to
our
happen. though.
comedy skit.
No matter what, we're going to do a comedy skit. I am going to play.
No.
No, I'm going to play President Biden reciting War and Peace from memory,
Oh dear Lord.
and in the original Russian,
Good night,
because I
everybody.
was first in my class. I was first in my class in college. I got a scholarship to law school. I'm smarter than I want to take an IQ test. I'm smarter than you are. I had 12 scholarships. I had 12 scholarships. And I'm smart. I'm smart. I was not left back in the 3rd grade. You're lying. I was not left back in the 3rd
Okay.
grade, and I beat up Corn Pop.
Bye, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And God bless the United States of America.
Yeah.
Our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze. We are able to apply our God-given common sense. So let's do it.